Vice Chairman Thompson. Chairman Pantazis is here. I believe we have a quorum. We'll move on to the adoption of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion. Hopefully everybody's read it to adopt the agenda as printed.
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
Have been moved and well, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Having been moved and properly seconded, that motion passes. The agenda is adopted. We will move on to the consent agenda. So at this time, I'll kind of entertain any comments or questions about the consent agenda. If there are any items that any of the commissioners wish to remove, having been presented with the topics and the materials in advance of the meeting today. So otherwise, we can move forward with entertaining a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda passes. And now we'll move on to old business. Any old business that anyone wishes to address? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. I've got a little bit, but Mrs. Foster, would you like to address anything for new business?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good afternoon, those that are present, to the commissioners and to our attorney. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I do want to address a few things, and one of them is unpleasant to speak on, but just want to make it aware that we had an unfortunate situation on yesterday evening at one of our communities, at our Collegeville community. And we've had a shooting on the property, and we did have two residents that were shot, a mother and a daughter. But we want to share that we have camera footage that was available, and that'll be very helpful as the BPD review and also begin their investigation on what occurred. And we also want to share that there's counseling offered to the residents and the staff, and that the police patrol will increase on the property for a couple of days to ensure that, the occurrence does not happen again. But I do want to share on a good note is that we have been in contact with the mother, and the mother and the daughter is doing well. They both have been released today. So that is great news. So we're continuing in communication with them to assist them when, as needed. So I just wanted to share the news as relates to the shooting that occurred yesterday evening.
Thank you for that update, and we'll obviously limit our questions as it's a currently ongoing investigation, but thank you for letting us know, and I'm glad everybody's doing as good as they can be. One thing I would ask maybe as we continue to be updated on the situation is to have our team evaluate. I know there's been a couple of incidents in and around the property recently to see if there's anything that has changed, or if there's something that, from a access standpoint that we might be able to look at, as I know we've done in the past at some other sites.
Yes, sir, would you?
Thank you. Commissioners, any other questions as to this topic? Any other new business?
I have two more items, if I may.
Okay, please. do.
Okay, on a good note, I want to proudly announce that HABD has held a groundbreaking at Edge Hill at Southtown. And so I want to say that, we're ongoing, and on the first phase, the family building is on the way, it's starting construction, and also on our senior building, they are anticipated to have a tentative date of May to close. So we're exciting news for HABD. I want to thank the staff for a grand job that they've done. And so we've had the opportunity to celebrate with residents, staff, our partners, and our board. So thank you so much. We've had a great attendance. The second item I would like to share is the announcement that HABD has been selected for the Choice Neighborhood Implementation as a finalist. We're one of 8 finalists. And so I can't share too much more about that, but I can say that we are planning a site visit for HUD on May 11th. So we're extremely excited about the opportunity to move forward that initiative. So again, thanks staff and partners for a great job done.
Big deal. Well, I'd just like to congratulate you and the team on the hard work on both events, and both the being a finalist and as well as the groundbreaking. I know it took a lot of hard work on everybody's part to get there, and it's been a long time coming in certain ways in both areas. So you guys have done a great job, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
The only other new business I've got, and I'll open the floor to others too, is, at the groundbreaking the other day, I started kind of thinking back to some old meetings we'd had, and I'd like to continue to be updated on how our development partners are going to develop connectivity progress in our new buildings, both from just Wi-Fi access to maybe some of the common areas to, and I know maybe there'll be different initiatives in both buildings between the senior and the family housing, but I'd like to see what we're doing to make sure that we, provide a really current landscape for internet, Wi-Fi, and connectivity.
Yes, sir, would you?
Any other new business items from the commissioners?
Just think about the $5 million increase in the housing choice vouchers. I think that's also a big deal that we like to celebrate.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely. We've been awarded additional $5 million for our choice neighborhood. It was an increase from last year. And so we can use those funds for housing choice vouchers for our participants and also encouragement for home ownership. So we're excited about receiving those additional funds.
Great news. Anything else? All right, hearing none, we can move on to our next agenda item. Human Resources has one item, the approval of award of contract for temporary staffing services.
Landry Jefferson Mitchell, Director of Human Resources.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
afternoon.
So Commissioners, today you have in front of you a request to obtain the approval to proceed with the recommended contractors to provide temporary employment services. A request for proposal solicitation was published to secure temporary employee firms. The RFP was posted and emailed to 351 contractors/individuals with 34 viewers. The RFP was available in the following areas: available for pickup in the HABD central office, posted on the HABD website, and on the Housing Agency Marketplace website. The RFP was advertised in the following areas: Birmingham News, AL.com, and Birmingham Times. 8 contractors/individuals submitted proposal in response to the RFP. All were deemed responsible and responsive. HABD recommends awarding the top 4 highest ranked proposals. 4 contractors will expand the capabilities of services based on HABD's need. And so the following contractors will be awarded contract: Spirion Staffing Services, Snelling Staffing, Infogenie Consultant, and Corporate Temp. The top 4 highest ranked firms will be utilized according to the requested types of position and the qualification the contractor specializes in to fill the position for clerical, administrative, finance, maintenance, and laborers. So this policy impact, this action is consistent with HABD policy and complies with the federal regulations. The economic impact, the source of these funds is operations. Commissioner, HABD is requesting that the president and CEO is authorized to execute the required documents for approval of the implementation of the temporary employment services contract with Spirion Staffing Services, Snelling Staffing, Infogenie Consultant, and Corporate Temps. Commissioners, you guys have any questions?
The only question I have is, I assume this is just to kind of fill some of the gaps we have in our organization, but is there a plan if we staff some of these roles temporarily to then find, or at least turn some of the temporary employees into permanent employees, or open some of these positions up to those that might want to apply already within the organization?
Right, absolutely. So we've been actually communicating about that. So one of the things that we're looking at is modifying our policy where possibly it could be temp to hire. So we currently don't have it in that policy, but that's something that we've been talking about. So hopefully we'll make that change. And we have, a lot of our temps have been able to be successful in obtaining employment with us.
I think it's just, and this, it's so important to develop continuity in some of these roles and to
Right.
show that we can grow within the organization too.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the award of contracts to the four entities identified for temporary staffing services.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
We'll move on to property operations, and I believe we have one action item, the approval of award of contract to purchase hydraulic dump trailers. Is there gonna be some intro music for this one?
Mr. Larry Williams, Senior Vice President, Operations and Programs.
Light show, laser beams.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I did have a dream that I had a little wagon with me to demonstrate. However, that did not happen today. So good afternoon, commissioners. This is for approval of the purchase of hydraulic dump trailers. The Housing Authority of the Birmingham District requested proposals from qualified companies and individuals to provide up to 8 hydraulic dump trailers. The trailers will be utilized in all of our housing communities. So basically, this will take the place of our knuckle boom truck, where we would use that truck to really go around the properties and dispose of like bulk furniture, bulk things that residents put out, or when we are performing unit contract work and there's items left in the unit, we need to dispose of those. So the trailers will allow us to be able to do it more efficiently, because obviously we'll have more than one when we have so many sites throughout the district. So we're requesting up to 8. The price is $40,895 each. And again, we are asking for approval for up to 8. And the source of funds is capital fund, and we've selected Shaver Specialty Services. Any questions?
Commissioners, any questions about this? Mr. Williams, I think one thing you highlighted to us was that this will help remove some of the items from certain sites that we've kind of had an issue with being able to actually have the capacity to do so on a timely basis. So that is kind of the main impetus for this request.
Correct.
Only question is, do you have to have some sort of training on how to use these things? Like, who's using them?
So our regional maintenance supervisors and our maintenance department will be using them.
Okay,
Pretty much most of them have experience in using it because they use the knuckle boom truck,
got it.
but there will be a demonstration in terms of how to use it, but it functions basically as the
The same
same
thing.
as the knuckle boom truck.
Okay, great.
So where do we keep them?
So great question. We have about 4, we have 4 secured storage spaces on sites. So we'll store them there.
On our sites that we own? Okay.
Yeah, they'll be on our sites.
Any more questions?
I do have one more. Do we have maintenance programs on these? Like, I guess to maintain?
In terms of like warranty and service?
Yes, like certain.
Yes.
Okay, so like the individuals, they just pick them up as they need them. It's not like they continue to drive those every day.
Correct.
Okay. Mm.
Because you did share that they're connected to the trucks that the maintenance drive.
Yes.
Okay.
So the trailers will connect to the vehicles that we already have. So
Got you. Okay.
the difference
Yeah.
between this and a knuckle boom truck, the knuckle boom truck came with a
Okay.
truck already on it. We can attach these to the vehicles that we already have.
I-
Understood it.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will entertain a motion to approve the award of contract to purchase hydraulic dump trailers to Shaver Specialty Services and Sales, Inc. and Dominic Equipment Sales.
Motion to approve.
Any second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Moving on to real estate development, we have two action items, the approval of award of contract for ground maintenance and lawn care services, as well as the approval of bridge loan agreements to the Benoit Group for Southtown Senior Development.
We'll first have Kelly Gamble, VP of Strategic Initiatives.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
The Housing Authority of Birmingham District is seeking qualified contractors to provide landscaping and maintenance services. The contractor will be providing seasonal landscaping services to include mowing, trimming, removal of leaves, et cetera. This service will ensure that the grounds and surroundings of the vacant homes and lots are attractive, safe, and sanitary. Purpose of this request is to obtain board approval to proceed with recommended contractor to provide landscaping maintenance services. Landscaping maintenance will be performed for vacant homes and lots throughout the Birmingham area, a total of 41 parcels. The services include, but are not limited to, mowing the grass, pruning, shearing, trimming of bushes and ground covers, as well as debris removal. Description of justification and invitation for bid IFB solicitation was published to secure landscaping maintenance contractors. The IFB was posted and emailed to 872 contractors with 27 viewers. In addition, it was available at the HABD central office, as well as posted on the HABD and Housing Agency Marketplace websites. Lastly, the solicitation was advertised in the Birmingham News. 8 contractors submitted bids in response to the IFB, and 7 were deemed responsible and responsive. The bids were reviewed, resulting in the following contractors submitting the lowest responsible bids for the vacant homes and lots. That's going to be Royal Hill, Frontline Landscaping, as well as Henley and Young. The policy impact is with the contractors will allow HABD to be in compliance with HUD as well as the city of Birmingham regulations. The economic impact funding source is going to be the Strategic Initiatives Home Ownership Program. And there are some additional attachments if needed. I'll take any questions.
Any questions? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the award of contract for ground maintenance and lawn care services to Royal Hill Landscaping, Henley and Young, and Frontline Landscaping.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes.
Thank you.
We have Nicole Earl, Chief of Real Estate Officer.
Good afternoon, Commissioners,
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
today. So the item that we have before you today is an approval for a request that has been made to us to provide $1 million to bridge the HUD 108 loan that's being provided to the Benoit Group for the Southtown Senior Building. The Southtown Senior Building is almost ready to close. They have all of their funding sources in place. However, the city has an approval process for a HUD 108 loan that was going to provide $1 million. And that process is taking a little longer than expected. And we want to ensure that they are able to close to maintain the pricing that they have from their lenders, their contractors, and the interest rate that they have. And so we've been asked to provide $1 million bridge loan that's going to bridge that $1 million HUD 108 loan and will be repaid in about 12 months. Once that approval process is complete, we're going to give this as a loan for 12 months at 1% interest. So in your package, you were provided the sources and uses and the budget and what the entire proposal and budget looks like for the project. And so we're just asking you to approve a request for that HUD 108 to bridge their HUD, $1 million to bridge their 108 loan.
I'll open up for questions. One thing I will note from our committee meeting, I believe, what's the timeline estimated for the city's approval of the 108 loan?
They anticipate being able to complete their process by the end of June.
Okay. So in all reality, this should be repaid.
It should be a short-term loan and should be able to be paid back within a couple of days, but a couple of months. But we wanted to ensure that we gave enough time just in case, because we're dealing with HUD and the process is, sometimes uncertain and how long it's going to take.
Mm.
And my understanding is that based on kind of the communications back and forth with the Benoit Group, the structure of the loan that they presented is viewed as acceptable by HABD, and that it has the interest terms and a repayment provision that everybody's happy with.
Our attorney has drafted a commitment letter that will have the terms that are acceptable for us. And the terms are also acceptable to the developer.
You know, my thoughts on this have been that I think, you know, I don't want to create a big precedent of basically being a bank to our development partners. But I also think it's important for us to be good partners and good stewards of our funds in a manner that allows us to continue to proceed with our development. So while at first this was a little odd to me, I think the, you know, finite nature of it, the idea of trying to proceed with this development, this was an important thing to make sure that we could, you know, help our partners out with. So I've had a little time to think about it. I'm okay with it, but I also want to make sure all of my fellow commissioners have time to make comments, ask questions, and voice their opinions or concerns.
I have a question. In the objectives, on the purpose of objective, it says the bridge loan will be issued at 1% rate with a maximum of 12 months or until HUD loan funds have been approved. That's what it says in the objective, but in the resolution, it just has at a rate of 1% for no more, a maximum of 12 months. It doesn't have the or in there. So my question would be, if we, in the purpose and objective, if the or is in there or until the loans have been approved, if they don't get approved,
That's my question.
what happens? How do we get our money?
Well, we will have a lien on the property. So we will be repaid in order if we were to foreclose. So this is being set up as a loan. And so we will have a lien on the property as well.
So I think the verbiage needs to be different, where it says with a maximum term of 12 months or until HUD 108 loan funds have been approved, the shorter of the two, you know? That's what I'm saying, because if it's 12, the max of 12, or when the HUD funds have been received, if they don't get them, at least we're protected by the 12 months. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
I mean, what are y'all thoughts about that? Because it's different there than it is in the
Right.
resolution.
It
So-
makes sense. It covers both terms, the 6
Mhm.
months, the time that they receive the funds, or if we don't receive the funds within that time frame,
Mhm.
and any additional time without extending out to 6 months. So it protects us on both terms. So it makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, the or was, we're anticipating that it would be earlier than 12 months, but we could certainly modify the language.
Okay.
I do think the 12 months protects us in the sense of it can't be a loan any longer than 12
Longer
months.
than.
But it says or until it's received. So if it's not received, that could be longer.
Well,
Mhm.
But either way, they got to pay us back in 12 months.
12 months.
If you add the
That's the
or, it could go
maximum.
beyond the 12 months.
But that's what I'm saying, or is in there, not
the-
this one. I'm talking about what's in our
And
package.
it's
It's different.
So the resolution that we're
It's
approving is this resolution as worded right on the screen?
But what we got in our package is different. The
The
purpose and objective is different.
Okay, but it's a good point. So if Commissioner Barnes, if I'm understanding what you want to do, you want to remove the or
So
and
can
have
you,
it as drafted in the resolution in front of us?
I want you to, can you look at it? I just want you to see it, because you'll understand what I'm saying, under purpose and objective.
Yeah, so the purpose or objective has the or, but the actual resolution that we'll
Does not
sign
have the
does
or.
not.
Mhm. Correct.
So are we okay with it as, I would be okay with it not having the or.
Yes, I'm okay with not having the or as well.
Okay.
But I'm just
She's
wanting
asking the
everything to be
language to
consistent.
reflect in both, is what she's saying.
Okay, so does
So the
that,
purpose and objectives needs to be updated to
Yes.
reflect the language that we
Yes.
are
Oh,
actually voting on.
okay.
okay, will this preliminary verbiage, will that be included in the resolution at all, or is this just part of the board packet?
Just a package.
Okay,
Yes. Mhm.
so if we have a vote today, we're voting on only the resolution wording.
Okay,
Is
that's
are you
fine.
comfortable with that?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Want to make sure?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It just wasn't consistent, so I
Yeah.
just wanted
No,
everything.
it's a good catch.
Okay.
Put in that.
Okay. Any other questions? I hear some sighs, but no questions.
I stated my issues in committee meeting, but I'm good.
Okay. All right, so let's be clear. We're voting on the resolution. Can we move to that screen?
Yes. We're
Res-
voting on the resolve that the Board of Commissioners of the Housing Authority of Birmingham District, that the president and CEO is hereby authorized to execute required documents for approval of HABD entering a bridge loan agreement with a maximum term of 12 months at an interest rate of 1% to the Benoit Group for the Southtown Senior Project, and to authorize the president and CEO and or her designee to sign all the required documents to execute the loan closing.
Having heard the resolution, I'll now entertain a motion to approve the resolution as Mr. Earl just stated.
I'm sorry.
Do we not want to approve it? Is there concern on that?
Just to note, so this is a 12-month max term, 1%, and the repayment source is the city HUD 108 loan, which we're hoping will be complete based on the city's projection by the end of June.
And just so maybe, I'm sorry, but go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, if we're more comfortable with what was stated under the purpose, we can add the or 6 months, knowing that we're giving them up to the 6 months. And if that doesn't take place within 6 months, they have the maximum 12 months to get the money. So if that helps support, then we can, definitely make that change under the resolution.
So I guess at this time, if there's any concerns with the resolution, I'd say let's discuss them. If there's not, then we can entertain a motion to approve.
What is the time frame on when do they go to close, I guess?
They're anticipating closing in May. From the date, they're anxiously awaiting a vote today. And we've been having consistent calls with the bond and the lenders. And they're anticipating after today, about 45 to 60 days after that. The lenders are waiting to have this final piece of the tranche approved to move forward with underwriting.
Okay, so this is paramount.
It is
moving forward.
paramount.
It's, despite some of the heartburn on this, the real purpose is to
Mhm, to
make
move
sure that
forward.
we don't delay this closing any further.
Okay.
There's a question about who is the lender.
There are many lenders in this project. So the project is a low-income housing tax credit. We have Bercadia, who's also involved, providing a perm loan. Alabama Housing Finance is doing the bonds. Raymond James is also involved. And then, of course, the city.
Mr. Chairman, I mean, based on the conversation, I think I'm comfortable with the resolution as is.
You want to make a motion? Is that the motion?
Yeah, so I just need a motion to
You want a
approve.
Motion to approve.
Okay, is there any second? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? That
Thank
motion
you,
passes.
commissioners.
Thank you very much. I understand. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll be moving on. What is our time limit on the speakers? 3 minutes. And how many do we have? Okay. Next agenda item is the presentation of persons desiring to speak before the Board of Commissioners. All those who have signed up in advance may speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. And if there's any follow-up, we'll certainly address any issues you have, outside of the board meeting. So for in person, we have Adrian Gadsden.
Hello,
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Good.
That's awesome. Well, first off, I just wanted to come and thank you guys. I don't know if you know you're a part of helping me get through school and helping me complete the family self-sufficiency program. And I was actually able to receive my funds yesterday, but I just wanted to come and say thank you guys. First off, I started in Lubman Village back in, I want to say like 2014. And that's where I found out about the program. I also found out about the Naomi Truman Scholarship. I was a recipient of that as well. So it allowed me to get my associates at Lawson State in computer science with the minor in math, which gave me the opportunity to get a scholarship to go to Sanford. So I got my bachelor's from Sanford in 2019. I've been working as a software engineer for about a year. Now I'm actually training to be a Scrum Master for my team. So I just wanted to come and just share that with you and just let you know, thank you guys for giving me the
That's so
opportunity.
awesome.
So without the things that you do, I wouldn't be here. And I heard about the housing funds. I'm looking to my home. I say, God, don't make mistakes. So, but that's all I had to say. I just wanted to come say thank you. Most definitely to you, Ms. Foster.
Yes.
Ms. Foster has been a great mentor. Ms. French is not here. Oh, she has been awesome as well. She's made sure I was employed and I knew about the scholarship. So I just wanted to come.
Thank you
give
so,
my-
thank you so much for sharing.
And I also want to add that she didn't mention that she worked as apprentice under Holly Hand when we were doing billers at Titusville throughout the whole process. So.
True.
Yes.
With Miss Marcella Roberts. Doug was really cool. I had the opportunity to learn how to develop real estate, and I'm considering pursuing it. The more and more I listen to some things, I'm learning I know more than what I thought I did. So yeah, but thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Please keep us
awesome.
updated too on everything
I
you got
most
going on.
definitely will. Say
So
till
I
next
have a
time.
question. So most the self-sufficiency funds are normally used for housing or a business, right? Or
Yes, if they're asked to set a goal, if it's home ownership, going back to
Okay.
school.
what was your goal? Was
Entrepreneurship.
it school?
Okay, yes. Well, the way the program was set up, you had to create 3 goals.
Mhm.
And my 3 goals, because I can't speak for everybody create their own unique goals. My 3 goals was 1, getting associates and a bachelor's
Mm.
and just have a career.
Okay.
So I did it. But it allowed me the opportunity to really see like what I could do with my life and not be so bogged down, because it is kind of hard to start from nothing and to ask for help. So being able to get the help when you ask for it is a blessing in itself. And that's why I had to come say thank you, because I
Mhm.
really wouldn't be here without y'all.
Oh, I know, me too. I'm so emotional.
Yeah.
I know.
I was definitely had to come say thank you.
Yes.
But that's it for me. That's all I had to
That
say.
is good.
That's wonderful.
Thank you so much. for that.
One more thing and I'll leave it alone. If you want to go into real estate, I'll give you a scholarship to my school, okay? Yes. Yes. So I'm just letting you know, Barnes School of Real Estate. So I'm just letting you know if you want to go.
Well, I'm interested.
Okay.
We're gonna talk.
Megan to give you my phone number.
Megan?
Yes.
Yeah, I most definitely need to get with Megan.
Okay.
There you go.
All
I guess
right.
while you're getting with Director Holland, I mean, I think that's a great story that we
Yeah,
need
it
to
is a
lift
good
up, so,
story.
yeah.
I'd love to highlight that. That'd be great.
Mhm. I love stuff like that.
All right. Our last speaker is Miss Mary Ford, who I believe is online.
Is that you, DG? This is Mary Elizabeth, but I simply had a question around the lending on that HUD 108 loan. But no real questions for the board. Just wanted to listen in. So thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, that concludes all those that wish to speak. We will now move into executive session. I believe we have a few items, Attorney French, to handle. What do you need from us to move into executive session?
Just a motion.
Okay, and for how long do you think, Ms. Foster, about 30 minutes?
Yes, in 30 minutes.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion via, and we'll probably need to do a roll call on this to move into executive session for no longer than 30 minutes.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And we'll do roll call. Commissioner Lewis? Commissioner Barnes?
Yes.
Commissioner Hood?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Thompson?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. So we will now move into executive session for no longer than 30 minutes. And the only other item we have to do is to adjourn the meeting. So for all those online or here, there's not much else to stick around for. So this time I'll entertain a motion. We need to redo this. The motion to exit the executive session.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll do roll call vote. Commissioner Lewis? Commissioner Hood?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Thompson?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. We are properly out of executive session, and the only agenda item is to adjourn the meeting. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.